April the 3rd, 2017, we're in Torino, in Turin, in Italy, at the launch of these two beautiful minuscule bikes by KTM, Duke 125 and Duke 390. Both of them are great, in my humble opinion. Now, let's first of all focus on the 125. First things first, the design. The 125's design is mimicking the older lady, the older sister 1290, direct copy nearly from the head to tail. Now it will take, as they said in the presentation last night, it will take quite a lot of time for the young ones to buy a 1290. So for the young ones, for the 16-year-olds who are able to buy these bikes, these 125s with the A1 license, they built this thing. The design is nearly the same of the 1290. From the head with all these LED lamps, LEDs for the day and also for the night, and to this tail, which is now a separated unit from the main chassis. Now, this has some benefits, as most of the young ones are having these small accidents or deliberate accidents as they are trying to wheelie the bike. Sometimes they can have it totally wrong. So in that case, instead of changing the whole chassis, now they can only unbolt these two and also these two and change the subframe easily. That's a big bonus for this bike, for these Dukes. And also the tail unit became LEDs and with these very aggressive lines. Now it looks nearly the same as 1290. Also another change on the design, the new tank, which became steel now, and it does contain much more fuel, about 2.4 liters more, which gives an autonomy of nearly 350 kilometers by tank, if you are not going very enthusiastically. Seating position. Now, they changed the suspensions on the front and also on the back. The front suspension became a bit stiffer also on the back, so instead of making it much more comfier, they made it much sportier. But to give it much more comfort, they changed the seat. Now it does have the seating position a bit on the sportier side, but with the TFT screen and also with these controls, the bike is oozing with quality.
Right. No chaser.
You're very fast.
Hardly think of any other competitor in this segment in 125s that can look that awesome and that might have that much, how to say, street attitude. Now I can hear people who are talking about making stunts with these bikes, so it became the perfect formula for these young ones. What you might not like is these plastic parts, which are, in my humble opinion, can be modified easily by carbon fiber bits and bobs. And also the ABS system and also all the electronics and also the inclusion of KTM MyRide system, this bike became very user-friendly, very fashionable and very cool. Now the KTM MyRide system consists of this having Bluetooth unit, and we can connect our phone to this unit and we can see who is calling, and we can answer the phone and stuff like that. And plus, it does give the options of controlling and checking all the systems on the bike. It is easy to use, easy to navigate with these 4 buttons, and I don't think it has any other alternative in this segment. So in Man of the Golden Suit, we really like this bike. Let's pass on to 390. Okay, now about the bigger sister 390 Duke. The new version, the 2017 version, this bike impressed me with, first of all, one thing: the suspensions. Now, the front suspension and also the rear damper has changed a lot. It's not the same as the 125. It has different valving, it has different springs, and we quite liked the old one. We really liked it. But when pushed hard, that bike used to have this tendency to a bit of wobble on the front, a bit of, how to say, inability to hold the line perfectly if pushed too hard, also on the back. So it handled like the old zombie movies like this. So the new one, the new bike, well, it does hold the line perfectly. It became sportier with this new suspensions. I quite liked it, this new suspension settings. Plus, it gave the bigger bike feeling by including this ride-by-wire system on the throttle. So the throttle response became crispier, it became much more precise, and it does include all the benefits of ride-by-wire systems, the new ones. Another feature that we really liked it is the new front brake, which became 320mm disc plus 4-piston caliper on the front, including the ABS. Now, there's this short story about ABS system. This bike has 3 modes on ABS. The normal street riding mode, ABS on the front and back. We can switch it off, or we can choose the supermoto mode. As you might remember from the bigger bikes, the supermoto mode means there's ABS on the front, no ABS on the back. So we can, if we want, and if we're able to do that, I'm not telling you that I can do it, but if we can do that, we can lock the back brake, slide it, and open the throttle and make this small drifts on the way out of the turns, thanks to this supermoto mode. And it can be done with a bit of a practice, and I quite like the ABS system. The brakes are working nearly perfect on this bike. And another feature that we quite liked is the new clutch, the slipper clutch system, PASC, power assisted slipper clutch system. It became much more complicated. It gives the benefit of a lighter clutch feeling when the engine is on, thanks to these new springs and the new mechanism. And also, when we downshift, it doesn't lock the back wheel, so it is a big bonus when pushed hard, and if you want to push this bike hard. And it is crying for it, by the way. In total, the new Duke 390, I really like this bike. It does nearly everything perfectly. It is light, it has oodles of power, it does look great, and most important of all, this bike will have a very competitive price tag. So we're waiting for the prices to be announced, and I thoroughly recommend you to try this bike out in the nearest KTM dealer and make up your own mind. But we thoroughly recommend it.